In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. So, 21 days. 21 days exactly. In Hebrew, it is interesting. Remember that in Hebrew, every letter has a numerical value. In Hebrew, every letter has a numerical value. In Hebrew, we wouldn't use a different symbol for numbers as one does in English. Instead, one will use the actual letter because it has a value. So one would understand the number through the letters, which are also numbers. So every letter has a numerical value. Therefore, every word also has a numerical value once you add the value of each letter. Numbers are very important. They also have meaning, like I said with the number 3 earlier. In this case, we have the number 21. He was for 21 days, 3 weeks, 777, during the third year of Cyrus. So, during the third year, for 3 weeks, we see the balance that I mentioned, um, the Father, the Son, and the Ruach, or the Father as first and last. Also, the 3 men that Yahweh would send, Mashiach, the prophet, like Moshe and Eliyahu, etc., with what it has to do with the number 3. So 3 times 7, 3 weeks. We know the number 7 is also important, represents earthly completion, because of the fact that Yahweh created everything in 7 days. And that's why there are 7 congregations on this earth. That's why there were 70 nations created, well, formed in the time of Babel, and then they started to multiply. So 3 weeks, the number 7 is important. The 3 is important, and the 21 is important. 3 times 7, 21. When Moshe asked Yahweh what his name is, Yahweh said, before he told him how to call him, he said, Eyeh asher eyeh, I will be who I will be. Eyeh asher eyeh. They translated normally also as I am who I am, but it's actually in the future tense. So I will be whom I will be. So Eyeh, which is I will be, is a very important word. I will be is pretty much the name of Yahweh, but in the first person. Yahweh is the same verb, but in the third person, future imperfect. So Eyeh means I will be. And Eyeh is formed by the letters Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. And that would be 1 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5. So that would be 21. 21 is the numerical value of Eyeh. There are other words that have that value. For instance, the good would be 1, but we will have to add the article, the good. So the main word that has the numerical value 21 is Eyeh. I repeat, as in Eyeh asher eyeh of Exodus. We see that it says, in those days I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. We just saw that it was the third year of Cyrus, and he was mourning for 3 weeks. When one mourns, at least back in the day, there were several things that were used. For instance, even the food, like the diet, was a certain meal. Then they would have sackcloth. They would dress in sackcloth. They would throw ashes. They would pull out hair, and other things that were normally done when people were mourning. Pretty much everything started because of the pain, but became a tradition to the point that many people started just doing, like, dressing certain way, doing certain things, but not feeling the pain. So it all became fake, which is what Yahweh doesn't like. So that's why the world is all upside down. They call good evil and evil good. We see that the two witnesses will dressed in sackcloth, but that doesn't mean literally. In this case, because of what I just said, is spiritually before the Father. Their heart will be mourning for this world, for this reality which is about to die. So they dressed in sackcloth for 3 years and a half. 3 years, represented by the third year of Cyrus. And Daniel says, I was mourning for 3 full weeks, because it is the first 3 years of the last week of Daniel. In 3 full weeks is 21 days, which is the numerical value of a year, I will be. So this prophecy, this message, has to do with the manifestation of the Almighty in the end times as the second Eyeh. Because when he said Eyeh Asher Eyeh, he was saying, I will be now here to take you out of Egypt, and I will be there later to take you out of this world, out of sin. So Eyeh Asher Eyeh, that's why then Yahweh tells Moshe, go and tell them only Eyeh, one Eyeh. They don't need to know the other, because they wouldn't be present physically in the end times. So they only needed the one redemption. We needed the second, obviously, both, because the second wouldn't come if the first one didn't. But my point is that we are in the time of the second redemption, the second Exodus. So Daniel receives a prophecy for a moment in the end times connected with the 3 years of the last week of Daniel, in which Yahweh will manifest as the Eyeh, I will be, as the Elohim of creation.